precious time and participating. And thank you, Venerable Lindy, La, and Jennifer for arranging, arranging those sessions. So again, so we will start again as usual with trying to quiet our mind for a few moments by watching the breath mindfully. We can try to generate good intention by reflecting, contemplating, May I ask, coming here together, giving our precious time, become cause and conditions to actualize and fully develop loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta in each of us, all sentient beings. And may we be able to be much more help and benefit to sentient beings, directly, indirectly. And may be cause and conditions to attain fully awakened state, so we can be most and greatest help and benefit to all sentient beings equally. Okay. I don't remember. Did we do the prayer before the teachings last time? I don't think so. Yeah.
Quite informally way that you presented, Geshe.
Yeah.
Informally.
So we do the refuge and bodhicitta, Sangye chodang soge sonam la changchu pada dane gyata che dake jin soge pe sonam ge dola penje sangye duba Sangye chodang soge sonam la changchu pada dane dake jin soge pe sonam ge dola penje sangye duba Sangye chodang soge sonam changchu pada dane dake jin soge pe sonam ge dola penje sangye duba. So last week we talked about the healing, and mostly we discussed about healing our mind, and today's topic can be continuity of that, healing our pains, healing our sense of hurt, healing our sense of, whatever feeling that we have not been able to let it go, anger, ill will feeling, hatred to any individuals, so that we have not been able to heal from those painful feelings, experiences. And loving kindness is a way to heal, the way to heal whatever, feeling that we have been hurt, and because of that, then we have not been able to let it go. So therefore, we are still holding on them, and therefore we are experiencing still a lot of pain and suffering from that. Whatever grudges, whatever resentment, anger, ill will feeling that we might have. So the practice of loving kindness can heal from all those feelings and the pain from those feelings. And by healing, as we mentioned last time, by healing our mind, then we can heal a lot of pain that we experience physically as well. That are a product of those mental or emotional illness. And loving kindness, compassion is the very core of the Buddha's teachings. Of course, Buddha's teachings is, if we kind of divide or categorize, it is, the Buddha's teachings that is based on Pali traditions, and the Buddha's teaching that is based on Sanskrit traditions, whether you call Mahayana, Theravada, or whatever you call it. And both of those teachings and practice are based on loving kindness. They are based on loving kindness. All the Buddha's teachings are based on loving kindness and compassion. That is the very root of, very foundations of all the Buddha's teachings. So in the teachings that is based on Pali traditions or Theravada, one of the foundational teachings and practice is how to reframe our three doors, body, speech, and mind, from hurting and harming others. That is a very foundational practice. And that is based on compassion and kindness. Why we shouldn't engage in any kind of hurtful and harmful thoughts, speech, and actions is because we don't want to hurt. We don't want to harm any sentient beings. Based on understanding, they are just like ourselves. Who doesn't want any suffering, any pain? Based on that understanding, based on having the kindness and compassion, not wanting to hurt and harm anyone, on the basis of that, then we'll try to restrain and refrain from any action that could bring any hurt and harm to others. That is the very foundation practice. For example, the practice of ethical or moral discipline, such as refraining from 10 non-virtuous actions. That is the very foundational practice of that. The teaching and the practice according to the Theravada tradition or Pali traditions. On the basis of that foundation, then we practice meditative concentration and wisdom to free oneself from the samsara, or all the suffering and cause of the samsara and the sufferings. So the teaching and practice is based on that. So that is, you can see that it's based on the very loving kindness and compassion. And then when it comes to Mahayana teaching and practice, that is based on Sanskrit translations or traditions. So not only we try to refrain from any hurtful and harmful actions towards any sentient beings, but on top of that, we try to be more and more help and more benefit. So your practice of loving kindness, compassion is more deeper and more stronger. Not only you don't try to hurt and harm others because you don't want to hurt others because of your compassion, understanding, and love, but now on top of that, how can we be more and more help? How can we be more and more benefit? And that is so that is all the Buddha's teachings and practice, very much based on loving kindness, compassion. So in a way, in order to achieve, whether we achieve individual liberations, loving kindness, compassion is needed, necessary, because you need a special insight in order to achieve individual liberation, freedoms. In order to have special insight, you need to have the meditative concentration. In order to have a strong practice of meditative concentration, then one should have strong foundation or moral discipline that is based on loving kindness, compassion. And then, of course, to achieve, fully awakened, fully enlightened state, the Buddha would absolutely, we need to engage in the bodhisattva paths, such as Ten Bhumi, 5 paths. And in order to enter the path, we need to have bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, we cannot enter the first path. And without the compassion and loving kindness, there is no space for bodhicitta. The bodhicitta, the awakened mind of the bodhicitta, can be only cultivated on the basis of strong loving kindness and compassion. So that become very crucial foundation and practice in terms of our spiritual path. But not only from the spiritual point of view, in terms of not only from the point of view of enlightenment, but even in our ordinary life. Even in our ordinary life, loving kindness and compassion is so crucial to have our own peaceful, happy life, as well as to create more peaceful environment around us, within our families, within our friends, within our neighborhood, within the society that we live in, within the country that we live in, within the planet we live in. A lot of the suffering and pain that we experience in the world, or experienced by a lot of human beings and a lot of animals that we can see in this world, a lot of the pain and suffering, they are experienced and created by human beings. And lots of those suffering are created by human beings because there's lack of loving kindness and compassion. If we human beings, each of us can develop true loving kindness, compassion, we would not, we not engage into such actions and behavior that will increase more pain and suffering in the life of others in this world. So definitely there will be less pain, less suffering, especially those pain and suffering that is created by the human beings. And therefore there will be more peace, there will be more harmony, there will be more sense of, oneness, there will be more sense of, you know, friendship, security, you know, trustful, respectful, all of that, you know. But when there's lack of love and compassion, loving kindness and compassion, then, you know, there's less trust within each other's. There's less trust. There is more disrespect to each other's. We become more mean to each other's. We try to hurt and harm each other's more, and thereby create more unpeaceful, more divided environment, you know, and more, you know, unhappy environment. And so, and it's very clear, if we look with our own experience around individually ourselves and around us, you know, when we are surrounded by people who are loving, kind, compassionate, you know, we feel much more secure. We feel much more secure. We feel much more kind of being loved, much more peace. So that is our experience. And you know, a lot of the problem now we see in the world, a lot of emotional problem people face, you know, feeling of loneliness, feeling of not being fit in the societies. You know, a lot of those emotions arises because they don't feel the love, compassion from the society or people around them. They cannot feel the love, kindness, and compassion from people around them. So they started to feel, you know, they are kind of almost like doesn't fit in the society. They don't feel that they feel more lonely, you know, and that give rise to many other negative emotional pain, sufferings, feelings, and we see that becoming a big problem in the world. More and more bigger problem that becoming bigger problems, you know. And not trusting human beings, you know. I sometimes I encounter a lot of people who have totally lost sense of trust in humanity or to other human beings. They feel compassion to animals. They feel for the animals, but they cannot feel that for the human beings. They cannot feel same feeling to the human beings and humanity in general, and that is very sad. It's very sad, but you see a lot of people, and because they feel kindness and love by the animals, their pet, but they cannot feel that same level of similar love, kindness, and compassion on other human beings, and that's why they end up having that kind of feelings. And it's a very sad to be in that state, but and painful. Anyone to be in that state is a very painful because you are living in the world full of human beings, but you feel, you know, you don't feel that you are part of the society. You don't feel fitting. You don't feel that kind of love, compassion, care, and it's a painful state to be in. But again, you know, that is another problem that we face in this world in our times. A lot of people. And so all is this due to lack of loving kindness, compassion. And so loving kindness, compassion is so crucial for individual, for the family, and for the society, for the world, to be in better place. And for us to be able to cultivate sense of loving kindness, compassion to others. First, also, we need to feel the kindness of others, loving kindness of others, the compassion of others. If you feel someone's love, kindness, and compassion, it is quite natural for us to feel love and feeling kindness and compassion back to them, isn't it? Nobody has to demand your love, kindness, and compassion. You just feel naturally because you feel from them that energy. So, when you feel that from others, it is quite easy to feel that back to others. If you don't feel from others, even you try very hard to feel compassion back to them, even you try very hard to feel love and kindness to others, it's very hard to do that. So first is to feel, and sometimes, a lot of time, there is always kindness of others. There's always love from others. There's always compassion for others. But sometimes our mind kind of block from feeling that. So we have to kind of let go of that kind of boundary that we try to block from feeling that way. And that we can do through meditations, through practice meditations, So the practice meditations, that we can try to do to feel, love, compassion, and kindness to others is by feeling their love, compassion, and kindness. And so if we give enough thought, we are always receiving the kindness of others, always. It is through the kindness of others that we enjoy all our happiness, comfort, whatever comfort that we are enjoying, whatever little level of pleasure, whether it's a sensory pleasure, whether it's mental peace, whatever we are able to enjoy or experience, all through the kindness of others. If we really think about it, if we really contemplate about it, it's through the kindness of our parent that we have this body that we cherish, this life which we cherish. That comes through the kindness of our parent. So many people have helped us upbringing when we were very young. Sometimes we don't even remember who helped us and who helped in whatever way, Our other family members, our other friends of our family members, who have helped our family, our parents to take care of us, looking after from time to time, is kindness of them that and then it's through the kindness of so many beings as we get educations, whether it's our teachers, whether it's assistant teachers, whether it's the administration who run the schools, educations, whether it's the people who are in position who make the plan to run the educations, and other people who support the educations morally, through their advice, through their financialists. So many people involved for our educations. And part of our education is not only school, then, we learn many other things, for our health educations, And so through that education, then we are able to find a job. It's the kindness of all those who help us to educate so that we can have this education, this knowledge, so that we can have this degree, or these skills that allow us to work and find a job, and that pay us for us and our family. And again, even we might have all the skill, even though we might have all the educations, but if there is no who produce the job, we will be jobless. Even though you have the educations, even you have the skills, because there is not enough job. So therefore, again, it is the kindness of so many people who create the job. Whether it's a private, whether it's a government level, whether it's a private level. And so, again, so many people coming together to create that job so that we can get the job. And then, we have time to time our health issues, and then again, it's through the kindness of the doctors, nurse, assistants, those people who run the hospitals, whether it's a private or whether it's a government. Through their kindness, we are able to receive all these treatments, all this cure when we need. Then as we age and when we need help again, others who provide help, whether it's a nursery home or whether it's in our home who comes and help us, is through their kindness that make our life a little bit more easier, a little bit more comfortable, less discomfort. And at the time of death, it is through the other kindness that help us to, go through the process of creating the funerals and all of that. So through our birth until our death ends, we are constantly receiving the kindness of others. And if we just look from this morning, this morning to up to now, what we have done, and the morning breakfast, lunch, dinners, whatever small snack we had, all come through the kindness of others, because we don't grow ourselves. Everything we cook, drink, even though maybe even supposedly we are growing some, but still we are not growing everything. Salt, some of the spices, oil, butter, whatever, all these things, so there's the farmers, and then there are the people who transport from farming to the supermarket, people who run the supermarkets or the grocery shops. Through all of their hard work, through all of their contributions, through their kindness and benefit, we are able to get most benefit from that and enjoy whatever enjoyment that we enjoy. Without them, no matter how much, wealth you might have, it's just a paper. You go take all this money, go into the moon, see what you can buy there. It's just a garbage. It's just a paper. It becomes valuable, and it becomes something you can buy it because there are others who produce those things. So, and again, a lot of time our ego and our attachments does not allow us to see the kindness of others. Our ego and our attachment say, I work hard to get what I want. That's how our ego will try to convince us. Our attachment and ego will try to convince us, oh, there's no kindness of others. It's me who work very hard to earn and to buy everything that give me comfort, joy, happiness. But it is just our ego trying to, convince us. But if you really go deeper than that, then it's the kindness of others. It's the kindness of others. Just imagine your life when there's no other sentient beings by yourself. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Sometimes we feel, we wish, that we are by ourselves, completely isolated. Well, imagine getting sick, no place to go. Imagine that you are not aware of something and there's no way someone can help you to clear that confusions, to help you to clear that, ignorance, whatever. So our life has become much more convenient and comfortable. All of that because of the contributions, because of the kindness, because of the benefit of others. So if we really contemplate and meditate on that, then we will begin to understand and begin to be more aware, begin to feel the kindness of others. We begin to feel the contributions of others, the benefit of others. The more you feel that, the more you feel the kindness of others, the benefit of others, the help of others, the contribution of others, the more you will feel appreciative, gratitude of others, and naturally you will also develop sense of, closeness towards others. Sense of closeness to others. You will gradually feel more sense of closeness to others. And through that feeling closeness of others, then it will be easy to feel love, feeling love to others, kindness to others, compassion to others. And then you feel mutually love and compassion. kindness, and so and when you feel that kind of sense of better closeness in that way, then when you see their pain, just as you feel your pain and trying to relieve from pain, then you will develop a sense of wish and feeling, wanting to relieve them of their pains. And if there is any way that you can do to relieve of their pain or reduce their pain, you will be willing to do that. And when you see, their struggles to find some kind of joy and happiness in their life, you really feel from your heart, you wish you can make them more happy. You wish you can make them more joyful. You wish that you can make them more cheerful. You wish that you can make them more peaceful. And not only you wish that, then, if there's any way that you can improve their well-being, their happiness, that you will want to contribute, that you will want to give back. And not only you have that wish, you will do according to your capacity, your ability, as much as you can to make the difference in someone's well-being and life and their happiness, And so that is the loving kindness, That is the loving kindness, the wish to contribute, the wish to improve the well-being of other sentient beings, to improve their happiness, to help them to increase their happiness, their joyfulness, And not once you have that wish, really from your depth of your heart, then, we will try to do as much as we can according to whatever capacity, ability we have. But when you don't have that, if we don't have that wish, that feeling of loving kindness, then, even you see someone, unhappy, miserable, you wouldn't have any feeling wanting to, make them more happy, less miserable, and you wouldn't, even you have the ability to help them to be more miserable, less miserable and more happy, we don't care. We just kind of, ignore it. So, so loving kindness and compassion is so crucial for others' well-beings, our own well-beings, and well-being in this life, well-being in the future life, happiness of this life, happiness of future life, happiness of liberation, happiness of fully enlightenment is so crucial. The loving kindness is so crucial. Mm. And is very clear, when someone really care about you, when someone has a really sense of concern and truly care about you through their love, kindness, and compassion, even when you are facing difficulties, at least we feel comforting because there is someone who cares about, who have concern and love us, and who have compassion. It gives us a lot of comforting. Even though maybe we might have a lot of different challenges, difficulties, it's still to feel that there is someone. It makes us much more comforting to feel that and give us a lot of peace. But when we don't feel that way, when we don't have that, and even others in other things, even though we are doing good, still we will feel something missing. Something missing, kind of hollow in our heart. Feeling lonely and so forth. So I think, yeah. So I think maybe that is more or less on loving kindness at the moment. So again, I think we'll have a 5-minute break as usual. And then when we come, we'll try to do a little bit of meditation on that subjects. And then we have questions answered and some discussions after that. Okay? Does that sounds okay? Okay.
Thank you, Geshe.
So,
Yes,
okay.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. So, is everyone back? I'm trying to, I think I saw some message chat, but I don't know where to find because I haven't used the iPad for those meetings.
So Geshe, I think there's a little message in there from Pia, who was just excusing herself that she had to leave a little early.
Okay.
For you, with thanks. I don't think we have any questions in there yet.
Okay. So again, try to just relax, make yourself comfortable as much as you can. Try to feel the weight of your body on the cushion or chair. And try to wash your breath. And try to generate a good intention by reflecting, contemplating. May our practice or meditations lead us to have more stronger awareness of realizing the kindness of all sentient beings. And through that strong awareness, may we be able to develop loving kindness, compassion towards each and every sentient beings. And may it become cause and condition to obtain Buddhahood as soon as possible, so we can be more benefit to all sentient beings. So then, you can think from this morning whatever pleasure, comfort, convenience that we are being able to experience and enjoy, how each of them come through the others' kindness, help, and contributions. All the meals that we have throughout the day, all the things we need to make the meals, it all comes through the kindness of others. Try to feel that others' contributions, kindness, and help. How it is impossible for us to enjoy all this meal without others' help, contribution, and kindness. And also try to think, whatever comfort that we get from our shelter that protect us from cold, too hot, the house that we live in, again, without others' kindness, contributions, support, we will not be able to enjoy that and have that comfort and that protection. And the clothes that we wear to protect ourselves, again, to keep ourselves warm and so forth. Again, we don't make all of them. It's through the other's kindness, contribution, and support that we are able to wear. When it's too cold, that we can wear more warm clothes. When it's hot, we can wear some more cooling clothes, different clothes for in the home, walking, exercise, all of that, all the comfort that we get. And again, when we are not feeling well physically, emotionally, all the help we get to cure, to heal, without others' kindness, such as doctor, nurse, and others, administrations, it's not possible. Try to feel that kindness. The kindness of others in providing us the transportations, whether we are driving our own car, bicycle, whatever, or public transportations that take us to our workplace and other places that make our life more convenient, easier. All come through the kindness of others. The job that provides us the check to pay the bills, again, without others' kindness, we wouldn't have that job. Without the kindness of others, there's no way we will be able to come together and communicate, listen to the discussions, talk, do the practice together. It's impossible. So feel the kindness of others who made it possible to this technology so that we can have access to the Dharma. Try to feel the kindness of our parent to provide us this body, this life. And without others, there's no way we can develop loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta mind. And because of others, we are able to cultivate loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta. Try to feel the kindness of others in allowing us to have those, because of them, that give us opportunity and allow us to develop those inner qualities. And that give us great inner peace, joy, and satisfactions. Is the kindness of others. It's through others that we are able to practice generosity, moral discipline, patience. And it is through others that we are able to learn and practice how to develop joyous efforts in virtues, material concentration, and wisdom. And try to feel the kindness of others for allowing or giving us the opportunity to engage in the bodhisattva's practice, such as six perfection. And it is through others that we are able to develop those practices such as six perfection, 10 perfections, and enter the 5 paths and 10 bhumis. And the inner peace, joy, happiness that comes through those realizations, those paths, bhumis, all due to kindness of others. And it is only through those practices, such as 6 and 10 perfections, that we are able to achieve the fully enlightened state, the happiness or ultimate happiness of fully awakened state. Which is very much dependent on others' kindness. So try to feel the kindness, the contributions, the support and help from others in experiencing temporary happiness, ultimate happiness. Sensory pleasure or mental peace. By feeling and being aware of the kindness of others, we try to repay the kindness back. wishing them all the happiness, wishing them good health, peace, temporary ultimate happiness. Wishing them all the comfort, all the sensory pleasure, as well as mental peace and happiness. Temporary mental peace and happiness, the ultimate happiness and peace of liberation and full enlightenment. Wishing them as well as the cause of all those different levels of happiness. And then make a strong determinations that we will try all our best according to our capacity, ability, to help, to support for the well-being of all sentient beings as much as we can. Directly, indirectly. To support, to help for the happiness of and cause of happiness of all sentient beings. Physical happiness, mental happiness. Temporary happiness, ultimate happiness. So try to generate a strong determination to do that. If it helps, we can visualize sending all our positive energy of our body, transforming into countless body in the form of white light, sharing, giving, sending to each and every sentient beings our good health. We visualize all our wealth possessions transforming into countless positions wealth, sending and giving to each and every sentient beings in the form of white light, energy. Giving them everything that they need to make their life more easier, more comfortable, more happy. Then we can visualize, imagining all our virtues and positive energy transform into countless, as equal as all sentient beings, and sending them in the form of white light energy, radiating to each and every sentient being, giving them all the virtues, all the positive energy, such as the virtue of renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, realizing six perfection, 5 path, 10 bhumi, so forth. And thereby giving them inner peace, inner joy, inner satisfactions. Finally, ultimate happiness or full enlightenment. Then we can bring our attention back to the breath. Then we can dedicate all our virtues for oneself and all sentient beings to cultivate and fully develop loving kindness, both compassion, bodhicitta mind, as well as wisdom, realizing the ultimate truth. And for oneself and all sentient beings to achieve fully enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. I think you can slowly open your eyes. So I think we have 10 minutes. So if anyone has any questions or comment or something to discuss, please feel free. Anyone? How come we don't have any questions?
Shall I have a question?
Yes, please.
Tashile.
Tashidele.
So as I do the meditation, I can think about the kindness of, let's say, perhaps the farmer that grew the crop for the food that I'm eating.
Uh-huh.
And I can garner some gratitude, but then I get kind of pulled out of the meditation. I think, well, perhaps he took pride and he's happy to provide this food, but then I think, oh, maybe he's just trying to make a living. And the truck driver that drove the crop, more likely he's just trying to make a living. I mean, I don't know. He can take some pride. So this is kind of how I do in the meditation, and I'm feeling grateful. And then I get pulled out. I said, like many things, we're just trying to make a living. And I can, if I'm doing it more up close in person, if I'm at a restaurant, perhaps there's expectation that the waitress, I have some expectation of the service. And if I get good service, it's very easy to garner gratitude. But if not, then well, maybe I should be grateful that I now get an opportunity to practice patience, which I probably give lots of other people opportunities to practice patience. So I kind of go back and forth. So how do you kind of separate I mean, I don't know the intention or the motivation, but that's kind of as I'm doing the meditation with you, I get kind of pulled back and forth thinking, no, they're just trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
Where's the kindness? They're just trying to make money.
Yes. I think you raise good questions. I think that struggles we all have, and then again, one of the things that we feel pulled away by the way you feel that, oh, where is the kindness? They are just trying to make their living, or they are just trying to make money out of me, or whatever, those feelings. That is, our sense of our, as I mentioned during the talk, is our ego and attachments, especially the ego that is trying to pull away that with that ego, they should be grateful of me, not me other way around, I'm giving them as a customer, I'm giving them money, I'm giving them job, I'm paying them for their job. They should be gratitude of me, not the other way around. They should feel kindness of me, not the other way around. And that is what our ego, you have to differentiate. That's what our ego is trying to trick us. That is what ego is trying to kind of distract us. It is the ego that is trying to feel that we are more better than them, we are more kind than them, and it's other way around. So I think that is one thing that we have to understand, is our ego trying to trick us and trying to distract us in that way. And secondly, for example, a lot of things that we appreciate very much and cherish very much, sometimes cherish even more than our own life. Of course, life is one of the things we cherish most in our life. And sometimes we cherish certain things even more than our life. For a lot of some people's, money, for example, reputations, fame, for example, sometimes people are even willing to give their own life for the money or for fame, for reputations. And so they cherish those things even more than their own life, which we cherish very much life. But those money has the intention to help us? Does the reputation have intention to help us? Does the fame has intention to help us? No. But because we get the benefit from them, comfort and benefit from them, we cherish them very much. Same thing whether the service person, whether in the restaurant, whether the cook, whether the owner, whether the truck driver, whether the farmer, whether they have that intention to help or not, intention to be kind or not, but we get the benefit from that. And so therefore, we have to feel very appreciative and cherish them. And so just as we cherish those things, we also need to cherish that. you know, because it's the same, because we get all the benefit from them. Whatever intention they have, the main thing is because we get the benefit from them, therefore we have to cherish and we have to appreciate, and it is all about cherishing. When you cherish others, then definitely, when we have the cherishing thought for others, then definitely we kind of hold them dear. And when we hold dear, then, you know, love, compassion arises easily, and that is the key, you know. So I think Shantideva used in the patient sessions, about, you know, why we respect the Dharma and why we cherish the Dharma, because Dharma itself doesn't have the intention to help us and benefit us. But because we get the benefit from the Dharma, therefore we cherish it, therefore we respect it, therefore we hold it very dearly. Same things with all the benefit, that whether it's a doctor, nurse, food, everything's, whether they have the intention to help or not, but because we get the benefit from them, because it helps us, and therefore we have to cherish it, therefore we have to respect it, therefore we have to hold it dear, and that. And once we are able to cherish, hold dear and close, then it opens our heart to feel more compassion, more kind, more loving, more concern, all of that towards them. So I think that is so I think when you have that thought, to encounter that thought, then you bring the other thoughts, you know. Why I'm cherishing the money? Why I'm cherishing the fame, reputation? Why I'm cherishing the praise? So when someone praise me, when someone acknowledge me, say good things about me, because each of them doesn't have any kind of, by itself, the thought to help or not to help benefit, but because we get what we want to, so therefore we cherish. And so I think that is the key. So to deal with that. Again, you know, I think I saw some chat. I saw there's something coming, and then I cannot find and go and look for it.
Geshe, there is a question there from Nicola, and she says, how do we get beyond the feelings of dislike for those who have harmed us?
Yes, I think, you know, there are many different practice meditation that can be applied, you know. The reason why we dislike is, of course, because we feel they have hurt us, harm us, you know, individually, or our family, friends, or someone else. And so that is why we dislike it. And sometimes we feel like they hurt us, they harm us by choice. You know, they have the choice to hurt and harm, or not to hurt and harm, but they choose to hurt and harm us, isn't it? But if we really understand, someone hurts and harm us because not by choice, because of they are being controlled by remote control of afflictive emotion. The afflictive emotions become so powerful in that moment. That could be any kind of afflictive emotion. It could be ignorance. It could be, you know, anger. It could be impatience. It could be their frustration. Whatever those different negative emotions that is arising become so powerful, they lose their control. They lose their own control, and so, and therefore they engage in something harmful, hurtful, painful to someone else. And so therefore, you know, the reason they act that way is not because, you know, they have total control over themselves, and still they decided, I mean, we don't have to use any kind of To understand that, we have to use our own experience. Okay? By understanding our own experience. Sometimes we hurt the very people that we love most, isn't it? We hurt very people we love most. We hurt the very people for whom we are trying to protect. So it's in contradiction, isn't it? On one hand, we want to protect them. We love them. We care about them. We want to, give them best. We want to see them happy. We don't want to see them hurt and pain. But at the same time, we hurt those very people. Why? Why is there contradictions? And that's because in that moment when we hurt someone, the very people we don't want to hurt, we hurt because in that moment we are overpowered by one of those applications. Sometimes our frustration is too strong and we cannot control that. So then out of that frustration, we say something, we do something that hurts others. Or sometimes out of ignorance, not knowing the situation clearly, or being disinformed of the situations, or by misunderstanding the situation or the persons, then in that moment, because our ignorance is so strong, overwhelmed, we get being blinded, and then in that moment, then we say something, we do something that hurts that person's. So I think, if we can understand our own experience, that's how we do. Even though we do not want to hurt, but we hurt sometimes. And same way, everyone's, all sentient beings, all human beings, despite they want to be kind, despite they want to be nice to all sentient beings, kind and nice, but in certain moment they are unable to be kind, nice, and in certain moment they become unkind, mean, and painful, hurtful, harmful in that moment because they are being overwhelmed by one of those negative emotions. And therefore, instead of being disliking and being angry, maybe we try to feel compassion because in that moment they are suffering a lot. In that moment, they are totally, lost their mind and they are in a painful experience or suffering state because of those negative emotions. And that, with that understanding, then maybe we might be able to feel more compassion instead of dislike and anger. So I think that is one kind of practice meditation we can apply. Of course, there are many other different practice meditation, but I don't think I want to complicate more by giving too many options, then you get lost. Sometimes we give so many different options, different meditation, then you forget which one. So sometimes just one seems to work better. So then you can remember and you can apply it. So even though there seems to be many different meditation and different way of practice or analysis and so forth, and another way is, mindfulness is another practice, whenever emotions of dislike, aversion, anger, whatever it arises, just being aware of that and not holding on that, just simply just watching and be aware. And if you don't hold on that, then it does not last and you can let it go quickly. And so that would be another practice meditations that one can apply as well. So to let it go as soon as possible without holding, because whatever emotion that is arising is a momentary. It's just a momentary. Supposedly, it doesn't last more than a moment. But most time it feel like there is long time because we give the fuel to that, and then that continues. And so when we do the practice through that mindfulness, and we don't do that, we don't give that fuel and that continuity, the chain of that continued thoughts and feelings. And so then it does not last, and it comes and goes. So, and so, yeah. Any others?
Yes. Could I just
Yes.
comment on Steve's question?
Yes, please.
We have in the precepts right livelihood as a positive action. And so it's nothing negative seen, I don't believe, in the teachings about earning a honest livelihood. And so unless the intention is to harm others, so if it's an honest livelihood, waiter or farmer, whatever, I gather that's considered right livelihood, not harming others. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
you.
Steve.
Yeah. Yes. Any other questions before we? If not, then we do the dedications. Okay. So then we take few moments to dedicate all our virtues that has been created by all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, others, and oneself in the past, present, and futures. May the Dharma flourish and be developed within the heart of each and every sentient being. May His own Dalai Lama, Kyabje Lama Sowa Rinpoche, all the holy beings, gurus, have long, healthy life, all their wishes be fulfilled. And may we be always under their guidance and care in this life, in part of all future life, until enlightenment. And may we always please them through our practices by following their advice, instructions. And due to that, may all sentient beings who are experiencing, illness, physically, emotionally, mentally, may they be cured, healed, and recover from the illness as quick as possible. And have long, healthy, and meaningful life. May all sentient beings who are experiencing whatever obstacles in their life, may all the obstacles and cause of the obstacles be immediately pacified. And may they be able to find perfect solutions to their problems, obstacles. And may all sentient beings who have passed away, wherever they are, may they be free from all the fear, suffering, cause of suffering. Have perfect human rebirth, meet the Dharma, actualize the Dharma within their heart, and achieve full enlightenment. And may each and every sentient being be able to actualize and fully develop the relative bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta as soon as possible. Those who have already actualized not to diminish, but increase more and more. And may we be able to achieve fully enlightenment as soon as possible, and then liberate all sentient beings from all the suffering and cause of suffering, and to the enlightenment. And due to this time, the virtues of merit, which empty from its own side, may I be able to actualize fully enlightenment, which empty from its own side, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which empty from its own side. Yawadi Yududa Lama Sanke Duyone, Yawati Yamade, E Sala Kweba, Chanjo Semjo Remboche, Make Pana Geyote, Yawa Nyamba Meba, Only Hondo Pewa Show. Hare Rave Kore Shingam de Penda Dewa Male Jongene, Chere Sewa Tintin Gato, Shabe Side Padu Dengyo, Tutu Janse Jangwen Gewe Den, Jongbe Kunsul Toba, Choson Kue Lema Tudu Ba, Dazo Duje Kundu Shaben Show. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you so very much. We just love to thank you on behalf of everybody as well. They can all thank you as well, but from Jen's and my side from Chakchon Chentong, we've just appreciated you joining us every Sunday. Now it feels a habit like we don't know what to do now if you're not coming next week. So, but anyway, thank you so much, Geshe, for all of your wisdom and your compassion for presenting these very foundational topics for us. To grow with, to utilize in our daily life. We need to hear over and over and over. And this last 4 weeks has been a wonderful, wonderful reminder, wonderful new information, new wisdom, but I appreciate very much. So we hope that you'll return again soon to Chakchon Chentong. We hope we have the merit for you to accept our future request to join us again. So
Thank you very much again. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend. And I think the most important part is if you find any part of the series that those 4 weeks, I think if you find any beneficial and helpful, I think important is to apply and try to practice and meditate as much as possible. And so that you just join it, but you take something to work on in your life, and hopefully in a year or something, then I think maybe there's a little bit of positive change, transformation, even if it's very small. Then I think it serves, and then it serves the purpose of us coming together and give time from your side, from my side, everyone's side. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Geshe. Take very good care. We hope to see you again very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone joining.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thanks, Venerable Lindy.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Lindy.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Ciao.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Take care. See you guys.